What is up, everyone? Welcome to the NoLife Tech and Gaming Podcast. How are you all doing this fine evening? It's fucking cold out. It's like, what is the exact temperature? Let me figure it out real quick. How cold is it by you, Jerry? You know the temp?
I can find out pretty quick. 1 sec.
4 people are dead from
Yeah.
weather.com. Negative 66-degree wind chill. Oh my god, dude. That is so cold. Where is this
I'm at the high I'm still at one of the highlights because here it's been like late evening is when you're actually like safe. So right now it's only -3 and feels like -20.
That's insane, man.
That's
That is
that's
so
basically been like
cold.
the high.
Fuck that. You know you can move somewhere warmer, right?
Yeah, we'll see about that next year.
Yeah,
That might happen.
that's too cold. This poor old 82-year-old man from Illinois, he was found dead after he tripped and fell outside his home and fell victim to the cold temperatures. So it probably took him out really quickly.
Yeah, that sucks.
That's too cold.
I know, like here this morning, it was the technical temp was like -11, and the wind chill was over -30s,
Yeah,
like close to -40, I think.
that's too cold, man. Well, it's all thanks to global warming. Did you see what Trump tweeted out?
No, I try not to.
let me tell you what he tweeted. It's
Something like, "Oh yeah, it's say how cold it is. It has nothing to do with the polar vortex that comes from like an ice cap melting."
wait, where is it? It's pretty good. Oh man, it's so hard to like look at his Twitter feed because it's always just craziness.
Dude,
And
it
he tweets
is.
so
It's really
much.
hard. Like, and the weird thing is, like, okay, I've tweeted like that before once in my life, and I was blackout drunk, and the next day I saw what I tweeted and instantly deleted it, and it said this is just the daily.
He says, in the beautiful Midwest, wind chill temperatures are reaching minus 60 degrees, the coldest ever recorded. In coming days, expected to get even colder. People can't last outside for even minutes. What the hell is going on with global warming? Please come back fast. We need you. This guy is out of his mind, dude. Yeah, it's too cold. It's too cold. But that's why we have indoors and video games and computers to play around with for times like these. In an ice
Turn
age,
it into a
I'd be
heater.
good. If I have
Yeah.
internet and electricity and we have an ice age, I'm fine, dude. I'll stay inside the rest of my life.
I'm just gonna make my computer even bigger, and it's just gonna be a heater right next to me.
Yeah, exactly.
I chose a hell of a time to get a haircut.
Yeah, he chose the complete wrong time. How cold was your head today?
Not that bad until I left work, and it just kept getting colder and colder, and then the wind picked up, and I'm not looking forward to tomorrow.
You know what you need? You know what you need? I think you would look really good with a fade, like a good fade. For real, I think you got like the perfect head for a fade.
My brother cuts my hair because it's free, but he actually did a fade once where it was a little bit. He kept it longer up here,
Yeah,
but did like fade it down,
yeah,
and it looked really good.
yeah. So I'm saying you have that head shape for like a fade. Just get like a nice like tight fade on the back and the sides, and keep it a little bit longer up top. That beard, nice big beard on you, you'd be looking good. All right, games have we been playing? Kingdom Hearts 3. Let's start with this game. How far are you into it?
I put about 18 hours in, and that was when I stopped playing last night.
That's crazy.
I think I'm at like the final third of the game, but I also haven't gone back and done any side quests and any like optional bosses and stuff like that yet.
So you just played it straight through for 18 hours?
Not straight through. I would say the first night when I picked it up on Monday night, I played it for about 6 hours. And then yesterday I played it for 12.
That's crazy.
I woke up at 11 and stopped playing at around noon. I mean, it's like midnight. I took an hour break at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, I was locked into it the first few hours. I got past I want to say you see that mansion, that old mansion, and then I did a little bit extra. I left that world, and now I'm on to the second world. So I kind of just got into it. I probably played about 2-3 hours watching. Dude, I will say this. The game looks really nice. It runs really well. There are some frame drops, but it's okay because it's not that type of game. And the cutscenes look really good. But there's so many cutscenes. I can't play for more than 2 seconds.
That is this, like, not only is Kingdom Hearts kind of known for the proceed through area, enter cutscene immediately in the next area, because that's kind of how the story develops.
Yeah.
But there are times, like, when you beat a world, put your controller down for about 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you're watching a movie.
Yeah, that's what it's like.
And that's where all your plot is.
I was like, man, I can't wait to get into this. I've been waiting for like an action RPG, and the first one was pretty fun. Let's get into it. And the first 45 minutes was a cutscene. Yeah,
the intro is definitely very long. And I will say that once you finally get into the game and you start visiting some of these worlds, like the world you just left was really small. It had 2 zones essentially.
Yeah.
The old games, like the maps used to be extremely tiny, like not even, I mean, PS2 we're talking about, they weren't very big. This game has what feels like the biggest areas that any Kingdom Hearts game has had, to the point where I finished up one world where like you had to revisit a bunch of different areas, and it was actually kind of a slog because the zones were so big.
Really?
Yeah. Which I like. I do appreciate it. And the game looks really nice, but I was watching somebody stream it with a PS4 Pro, and it makes me kind of wish I had a Pro, because I can tell the colors were popping just a little bit better.
Yeah. I have it on the Xbox One X, and it looks really nice. It's not 4K. They didn't upscale to 4K.
No.
But,
you can
it looks
tell the
good.
HDR is definitely, like, those colors are popping.
Yeah, and it runs a little bit smoother from what I can, it runs pretty smooth.
I didn't notice, I noticed only a few frame drops, but it was mostly when, like, I was using some kind of summon or something like that, or one of the attractions.
Is it playing at 60 on PlayStation?
It should be 60. I'm not entirely positive.
Because if you're seeing frame drops and it's playing at 30, then that's pretty bad.
Yeah, they're not jarring. I'll tell you that. Like, I only saw it pretty much. I only saw it really once or twice, but it was also one of the more enemy intense. There was just a lot of enemies on screen, and I was using a summon that had a lot of action happening with it.
Yeah. So I was playing it, and the first thing that kind of popped into my head is the dialogue. Everything sounds great. The voiceovers are great and everything, but the way that they give the dialogue was just really off. The timing it just felt bad. I would say even Persona does it better. And you can tell honestly, with Persona, there's a lot of translation issues.
I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out, so I'm gonna keep an eye open for it. And I was reading some of the comments on this thing, and people were saying 4 hours in, as you see this, apparently people were saying that it gets better as you go on.
Okay, that's good.
So that might be why I missed it. It might have been I just kind of got through that part, and then now I don't notice it.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you're not going to get all the same voice actors back. You're not getting Tom Hanks as Woody. I'm sorry, you're just not. It costs too much money. And then there's the new Mickey voice actor, who I think
does a pretty good job.
Started not that long ago.
It was a pretty good job.
Yeah, but you can tell it's a different actor.
But Mickey just sounds like this. This is not a very hard voice to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like Woody's. Tom Hanks' voice is so ingrained in our brains. You can't emulate Tom Hanks.
Part of it also makes me wonder how long ago, because remember this game's been in development for 13 years. How long ago were some of this stuff recorded? If I remember looking right, I don't know if it's in the credits, but I think at one point one website was reporting that TJ Miller had done voices.
Oh wow.
And he has not been working since his whole legal and mental problems stemming back to last year.
Yeah.
So did he record lines 2 years ago for this game?
Yeah, probably earlier.
Yeah.
But that was the big thing that I was because it's when you're dealing with Disney and you're dealing with dialogue, that's part of the Disney charm, and there's a lot of good comedic timing that Disney has, and it's just the timing's just way off. But you're saying hopefully it gets better. I don't know. I do want to see it like a little bit more of the game. Like I do want to play it.
Do you think a lot of it is translation, or is like it pacing?
No,
Is
it's
that
not translation. It's more of just like the
does it
way
feel
that
like
it's
the flow of
edited.
pacing? Right. Okay, that's what I
They
mean.
do hold shots for a little too long.
Yeah, like he'll tell the
Okay.
joke and then
It's
they'll
just like
pan and then they'll react to it. You know what I mean? They'll do some stupid cheesy thing. But it's
I,
like it would work if the timing was like boom boom boom, right? But the way they do it, it's like joke, then hit the reaction, then another stupid joke, then Goofy says something, and it's all very just like boom
okay.
boom boom. It's just not it's like they should have got a better editor. That's what it feels like. You know what I mean?
Okay. So it could be that part of me does wonder if translation does play a role in there too, just because like that would affect that kind of timing and pacing of just like how long it says the same line A in language.
Right, and that's a thing with a lot of Japanese games. Is like they do have that awkward kind of hold the
I
shot a
mean,
little longer than 2 beats.
Go look at Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
Yeah,
You look at the voice flaps, like they do not match at all for the English voice acting to what they're, because it's developed and like those cutscenes are made with the Japanese audio tracks in mind.
yeah.
So your
So what
lip
they
flaps
should
are
have
not
done,
matching.
what I'm assuming they did was they made the game for Japanese for Japanese audience and with Japanese in mind, but they should have gotten an American editor to do the cutscenes for the American dialogue, because then I feel like like someone who is an American would be able to know when to hit those beats, because it's just a little bit awkward at times and it kills a lot of the jokes. Like they're not funny jokes to begin with, right? They're charming, like, you know, Goofy saying something stupid's charming, but it's just the timing being off just makes it even cornier, makes
It's
it
like
even
if you're in the
cheesier.
editor and you're like, you just hold that still frame for just 3 seconds too long.
Yeah.
You should have trimmed the tool there. You should have trimmed the tool, cut it there.
Yeah, no, it's just,
Drag
it's
over.
not even like 3 seconds. It's like an extra beat to it, like an extra half a beat, and they're just a little bit off. You know what I mean?
I kind of want to see that too, though. At the same time, especially with Goofy.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, just have Goofy say something really dumb and just have him sitting there like, is it
Yeah.
funny? Is it funny?
yeah. Well, it'll be him saying something. It'll be him saying something dumb, and then it'll pan to someone's reaction, and then they'll like stop for a second and then do the reaction, which will be like something like this, or like they'll point their finger in the air, and you're just like, let's just fucking get into the fighting, because the fighting is fun, right? I do enjoy the combat, but it seems super easy. It's like,
Well,
how does it get later on in the game? Does it get a little bit more difficult?
It's a kid's game.
Yeah, well, I will say
It
like
feels
the
like that.
bosses further do get a little bit more difficult. I haven't died yet. I'm only playing on standard mode, so I'm not playing on like the hardest difficulty.
Yeah, same.
But I also don't really use summons that much, like at all, and I don't use magic that much.
Yeah.
But magic is really strong. I do really like, what I really like is they give you just the options. They're like, all right, you want to play with this? You want to play, like, if you want to focus on playing magic, you can do that. If you want to focus on just brute strengthening it, you can do that.
Yeah.
There's different links, there's different summons, there's the attractions, there's team up attacks. Somebody told me this was when you use your keyblade, because you can switch between the 3 that you have equipped.
Yeah.
When you get the whatever it is, like the next form, that form change,
Yeah.
if you go into it and then immediately switch out of that blade, you can actually store it.
Oh, that's cool.
So if you're going to a boss fight, you can have 2 stored form changes. When you hit your your one you're using, you can then just go right into 3 straight form changes to get lots of damage.
I think I might turn the difficulty up, because it's really, like, right now, this is the extent of all your fights.
I would also say that you're in like what is the prologue,
Yeah.
like the form, like those. I noticed the difficulty get a little bit harder in the Toy Story world.
How far along do you think that is?
You
You said you haven't even died yet. It's kind of,
that I've gotten close, but
yeah.
and there's also like there's Kupo coin, which is essentially like a Phoenix down, where when you die, you'll use it and it'll just revive you back to, like, I think with 1 health.
Right.
There's also a skill later where it's if you have at least 2 HP and you get hit, what would kill you, it would leave you with 1. So there are skills for that stuff.
But this is what I found is like you just kind of attack, and then immediately maybe at like a couple attacks you get like a form change, or you'll get like a team up, or you'll get some super crazy power, and then you have to watch a cutscene in mid battle of like your summon, and then you just wreck everyone around you. And you could do that for every battle, and you could do that multiple times at battle, and it just never. There's no urgency. You're just kind of just flying through these dudes.
Yeah,
it's
like I said,
fun, but it's a little
easy. The enemy forms, they get stronger as you go on. And there's a couple that are really annoying. I think in one world there's like these Heartless that are like these like kind of like proper women, like they're proper ladies, but they shoot like a machine gun at you, and that shit hurts. It does a lot of damage. Well,
this is what I want to know. Is there a point where it's like, if you're not good at using all of your abilities and using all of your magic, is there a point where if you're not good at that, you'll die? Because I want it to feel like I have to do this. I have to use my magic. I have to switch the Keyblades mid-combo. I have to use the summons at the right time. Because right now it just feels like you're just mashing shit, and then you could just fly through each guy. And then you get a guy that heals you mid-game.
I think it depends. There's just a lot of mechanics on a lot of systems. So I've come close, like where I've almost run out of I've run out of potions, but there's so many things that heal you.
Right.
If you're not putting like items on your characters to also heal as well. I mean, I think there's a point in this game where if you just don't understand the more advanced mechanics, you wouldn't necessarily die, but you might start to struggle or get frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I can't vouch on other people's gameplay because I also understand the Kingdom Hearts games. Like, I've played them all for the most part.
Yeah.
So I'm not really the person to judge.
It's fun, though. I like the combat, and I like all the different things you can do because it's all on the fly. It's not like a turn-based, how all the other Final Fantasies are. So it does make it fun.
Action RPG.
And it looks great, like when you get some of these summons and, you get on the roller coaster, and you're shooting machine guns, and like it does get really fun. So I just wanted to make it feel like if you're not good at it, then it's going to punish you. So maybe I'll just turn the difficulty up and just see kind of how it goes. But then again, I do want to kind of get through it. Like, I do want to just see what this story's about. I'm so lost already. I have no idea who Roxas is.
If you want, I believe it's been updated so that if you go to like the main menu, you can watch 6 different videos of the previous games.
Okay.
If you want to really sit through that, or you can look up a 3-hour lore video on YouTube.
No, I'm not doing that.
Never let. Okay, can we just have this as established fact? If your game or any story starts involving any sort of time travel, it instantly becomes impossible to follow, and it's just terrible.
Time travel is garbage.
Dude, not only is there time travel involved in this story, but there's multiple versions of yourself. It's so confusing.
Like, if you want to make a cohesive story, just never use time travel.
It's so confusing.
There are 5 different Soras. There's 13 different Xehanorts. There's I don't know how many other people. How many Goofies are there? How many Donalds are there? Who knows?
But I will say I wasn't as lost as I thought I'd be. I've only played the first one, and I wasn't like it. They do a good job of like saying, okay, this is your next step, and this is what you have to do. It's not like you're completely out of the blue here, but in terms of like the deeper storylines and a lot of the intricacies of it, I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch something to kind of catch me up on it.
The problem is that it's titled Kingdom Hearts 3, as if the other games really don't matter in the storyline. But the reality is, we've already had.
Dude, can you fix your mic real quick?
They do all kind of matter.
We've already essentially had Kingdom Hearts like 3 through 7, and this is Kingdom Hearts 8.
Yeah, that's
You're really about it.
3 through 7. It's fucking crazy, but it's fun. I'm not gonna lie, I was enjoying it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
We'll get Kingdom Hearts 4 in 2040, and it'll be on the PS8.
And this is the last one, isn't it?
This is the last one of the current trilogy.
Oh.
It's not the last game. It's just the last game in this story,
Oh, I see.
where it's supposed to answer the questions and solve the all of the story stuff they've been setting
All
up
the
for the
time
last
travel
18 years.
of who the actual bad guy is, and is he actually a secret time traveler himself?
No, but I have been enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie. It's charming and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. I do want to get back into it and build up my gummy ship and do all this other corny stuff because it's fun.
It took them 13 years to make. It better be good.
I mean, I hope it also does finish that story, because like the story is actually pretty interesting. Like, even though I'm sitting here trashing it because it's a bunch of time travel mambo jumbo.
It
Like,
didn't used to be time travel mumbo jumbo.
Yeah, like they did, but
Game.
they did a decent job of
Tying it.
making that interesting. Yeah, but at the same time, like I hope they have a good cohesive end, and they do just say, "Cool, this is the story. We're like, at least this is this story. We can go on to a next story." Because what I'm most worried about is like them pulling an Assassin's Creed, and it just keeps going on with more and more weird time warriors entering from some other different timeline. Like that was the problem with Assassin's Creed, is like it had a somewhat interesting backstory that they let go on for 30 games now, to the point that it's just beyond stupid.
Yeah.
So I hope that's my hope out of Kingdom Hearts 3 is like, cool, no, you have a good definitive exclamation point on the series, and then you continue with something new.
The good news is if they start making side games again for whatever Kingdom Hearts 4 and then the 10-year gap between 4 and 5, nobody except for Nintendo really makes handhelds, and even then they've made their main console a handheld. So there's no more systems to release things on. There's no Vita, PSP, DS, 3DS, Game Boy Advance.
So they can't break it up anymore, yeah.
Console only now, motherfuckers. Console only. Use the same engine. Just don't make it 13 years between releases.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. I do want to talk about Resident Evil 2 Remake. I finished it. It's pretty short. Like, there's two parts. There's the Leon story, and then there's the Claire story. And the Leon story is about 8 hours, and I think Claire's the same side. And dude, it's so good. It's so good. I highly recommend it. It's so scary, but it's not scary like how the last one was. The last one was way more scary. But this one, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it is kind of short, but almost everyone I know who has it beat it in a day.
Yeah, you spend like a whole day and you can beat it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that as a bad thing of it's being too short, but I'm also saying, no, that every single one of them thinks it's that good that they finally went and beat it in the first sitting.
Yeah, you want to just run right through it. Yep. And it's just the way that they crafted this game, and I have the whole Leon playthrough up on the channel if you guys want to watch it.
It's Resident Evil 2. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And they did it perfectly. They did it perfectly. Like, the best part about it is how they make it feel like you never have enough ammo and you never have enough health and you never have it, and you're always like just squeaking by each and every battle.
Never have enough fucking cops.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know how they were able to masterfully craft this game like that, but that's what makes it fun, because there's a lot of backtracking involved. So you'll end up getting something and you're like, all right, I have to go all the way through this area to get to this one spot where I can use this key. And like in that spot, it's covered in zombies, it's covered in lickers, but do you have enough ammo to get through? Do you have enough health to get there? And not only that, but they'll sprinkle in like, hey, there's a cool gun over here, but there's also one of the Nemesis guys over here, or whatever his name is. I forget what the guy's name is. He's like this super zombie. And he's like Thanos, and he just like wrecks you. And he's actually my favorite villain in the series. He's fucking
Fedora
awesome.
Thanos.
He's so good because he's such a scary dude. You hear him like, the sound design is amazing in this game. So you'll hear him like walking like a floor above you, and you can just tell he's getting closer. He knows where you're at, but he's gonna take his time to get over there, and you'll forget about him for about a couple seconds. And right when you get out that door, he just kind of wrecks you and scares the shit out of you. But that's the best part about it is like they make it feel like you are just barely squeaking by. And then the end of the game, they kind of just load you up on ammo and they say, just have fun. Like, just blast through. This is what you want to do now. Blast through all these enemies. Go nuts. Shoot them as many times as you can. Use your flamethrower. Use your grenades. And have fun. And that's kind of how Leon's story ended. And it's just such a great little game. And I like how you can finish it in a day because that's a lot. You feel satisfied after you're done with it. You know, it is fun beating like a 30-40 hour game, finally finishing those games, but it is nice to get a full experience in like a full day. So if you're not doing anything, you have a day to kill, you know, you wake up at like 9, get this game. It's totally worth the price. And then just play through it. You'll have so much fun. It's really a memorable experience. I'm so happy that like Resident Evil is finally back in action. This is like their best version of the game. No more tank controls. You know, it's all fluid. It feels great. On PC, it runs beautifully. I highly recommend it. I have nothing else to say about it. If I could rate it, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 if maybe Claire's version was different than Leon's. It's only slightly different. And that's the biggest disappointment. Because then I was like, all right, I beat Leon. Tomorrow we're going to play Claire's and we're going to have a completely different story. And then you're like, okay, you split up and you're like, okay, we're getting into this. What's happening with Claire? And then all of a sudden you start playing the same missions again. And you're like, that's kind of a downer. You know, there's some slight differences. There's some slight differences in difficulty and ammo, but it's essentially the same thing. And that's what sucks about this game. I wish it was 2 8-hour experiences that were completely different. Because then I'd easily give it a 10 out of 10. Then you had 16 full hours of, you know, this heart-pumping zombie game that, you know, is the quintessential zombie game out there. Super fun, though. Super fun.
They did a good job graphics-wise and performance-wise.
Yeah, it runs great.
It looks great, and that's what you want out of a remake. Because I mean, all in all, it's just Resident Evil 2. Like, you can't fuck up Resident Evil 2 if you're just updating the graphics.
Right.
Is it some of the most realistic gore in a video game?
Oh yeah,
it's pretty gruesome.
There's this one scene where the super zombie smashes his hand through a wall, grabs this guy's head, and crushes it with his hand, and the remains of the guy are so brutal looking. And then like you watch it happen, and then Leon kind of turns away. And then all of a sudden he looks and they zoom in on like this carnage and it's so brutal. It's awesome though. You're just like,
so how's
I love.
Mr. X?
Yeah.
Mr. X been like a fun thing running into?
Who's Mr. X?
It's like the zombie you can't, like the giant one you
can't
kill.
The Thanos guy. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. He's
Mr. X.
Yeah, he's not fun. He's fucking sucks.
I'm kind of hoping that they might remake Resident Evil 3 after this.
Yeah.
Because I love Nemesis. I thought Nemesis was one of my favorite games.
Yeah, I think you fight Nemesis in this one.
You fight a tyrant, which is like the prototype of Nemesis.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he's the original Nemesis. Like you fight the origin of the Nemesis before he becomes like the super Nemesis. But yeah, Mr. X, like I said, they do the sound so well. So you hear him like down the hall and he's coming and you got to run into that fucking room because you need that one bullet. They'll give you like 1 or 2 bullets. That's all you're going to get. And you know it, but you have to go in that room and get those bullets and that fucking stupid herb. And you're going to have to deal with Mr. X one way or the other. And that's where it's scary.
I have seen that, what was it? Like, zombies are bullet sponges. Like there's some that you just 1 shot, 2 shots, and they're gone. But there are others you'll hit them 5 times in the head.
Yeah,
and they're still going.
Yeah, they don't play by the same kind of rules as traditional zombie games. Like you can shoot, like you said, some in the head 5-6 times, and you'll think they're dead, and you'll walk over them, and they'll fucking grab you by the ankle and scare the shit out of you.
Got a double tap, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking it's such a good game. And the puzzles are all done so well. I still my first playthrough, I didn't unlock everything. I didn't get the mag. I didn't get like one of the good guns. I could have. But you have to like you'll get items and you will use them, but there's second uses to items. So you have to examine items and then you'll find like secret uses for items. And there's so much that I miss, and I kind of do want to play through Claire's and kind of get everything and really kind of go crazy. Maybe even play like a second playthrough with the difficulty bumped up, because you're going to want to play it again. Like it's just a fun, they do the shooting really well. And now that you know kind of how the map is, you're going to be able to like go through all the spots that are, you know, a little bit more boring. Not boring, but, you know, they're a little bit more tedious than other spots. And
I've heard that it's changed. Like if you do if you do Leon first and Claire second, that it's a different experience than doing Claire first, Leon second.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard.
Oh, I don't know.
So maybe you should do that for your second playthrough.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that Claire, when I first started firing up Claire, it's really not that much different. Like you end up doing the same stuff. There's a little bit of a difference, but it's not like a completely new experience.
Yeah, no.
Which sucks, because in the game, when you meet up with Claire and then you guys split up, and you're in the police station, she's somewhere else. She's like outside the police station. But when you play as her, you're in the police station again. And you're just like, what the fuck? Why? I thought you left, you know, but that's just how it is. That's how it is with this one. That's the only downside I have, and I still give it a 9 out of 10 because of how well everything else is done. I would give it a perfect score if it was a little bit longer or they gave you a different experience, because then it would have just been so dope. So now I can't wait to see what else this team pulls out.
I thought they're doing DLC for it as well.
Oh, I hope so. I have no idea. I hope so.
I think there was some additional stuff that they're either planning on adding, or they did. I think they added some other like post-game content. Like other playthroughs stuff.
Interesting, but kind of weird to me at the same time.
You're getting 3 free DLC stories starting in February, according to PC Gamer, which is awesome. That's awesome. Hopefully that adds a lot more content.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about that actually. Because like it's kind of cool, but it feels weird to me to do that in a remake.
It's fun. I don't care. I want more DLC. Give me more story. Give me as long as it's well crafted. As long as
if it's well crafted like this. But I don't know. So what? Now we have Resident Evil 2.1.2.3. Like going back to what I was just bitching about.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Resident Evil is just Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, like what I was just bitching about. Of like, okay, so now we're like retconning DLC into the big story. But the game sounds awesome, and like, yeah, you always want more, but it seems weird to me to do that for remake.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Here, you see me just go into town on this zombie. It just shows some of the carnage in this game, and you can literally dice each and every limb off a zombie, which is you kind of need to do that for some zombies, because just like I said, you'll shoot them in the head, they won't die. So to get by them, you're gonna have to fucking take their legs out or take their arms out that they grab you with, or you know. And the lickers are cool because they can't see you. They go by sound. So you know, one of the cool spots is I ran into a licker and I'm like, all right, I have to fucking like, you know, squeak by this guy. But then you hear Mr. X down the hall. He's coming, dude. He's coming. So you don't know if you should try to like run past it or go guns blazing, or I just took it slow. My heart was pounding. And it's those moments where I was like, this game is so fucking good. The stories are a little cheesy, you know? Again, going back to like Japanese story design.
It's like good cheesy because
it's like action stuff, you know?
Yeah. I mean, the game came out in 90 something? I can't even remember, you know, because I
97 maybe 98.
I feel like it was like when I just got my PlayStation.
Yeah, it was maybe a little later than that.
So it was. My point though is like it's still very early in the cusp of like video games having a story that's good, let alone a story.
98, yeah.
Right. January 21st, 98. So.
Yep.
I would assume that Resident Evil 1 was probably 97.
Yeah.
But like, I'm probably gonna pick it up here at some point.
I highly recommend it, man.
DLC wise, it's just call it RE2.5.
No, don't call it RE2. Please don't.
Call it RE2.5.
Don't confuse me anymore.
Or something. and just be like, cool, this is a game, you get it for free if you bought RE2.
I hope the DLC is like just separate story. You know what I mean? Just like a
Yeah, I
completely
think it has to
like
be.
its own episodic thing. And then that would make more sense.
Make it like, Resident Evil 5 and 6 like should have been.
Yeah. Oh, this part here where you see the desk. I did not know how to open this fucking desk. I had to look it up. I had no clue how to do it. And some of the puzzles, man, they're difficult. They're really difficult. But that's what's fun. You want that challenge. And this game is it's awesome. Highly, highly recommend. If you get it, you're gonna enjoy it. I promise you that. And then Fallout New California.
Well, you'll enjoy it if you like scary stuff.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
not.
like scary-
It's
if you
not
don't
like a
scary stuff-
horror game. It's not like the last Resident Evil 7. That one was scary. That one was like actually like
Well,
you didn't want to go in some rooms.
Yeah, this is more jump scares.
This is more like situational scariness. Like you're not dealing with like
it's
really
sound-
fucked up people. You're just dealing with zombies and like a scary super zombie.
It's sound and jump scares.
Right.
But
Some
like,
of them will scare you. It is a scary
what I was-
game, but
No, that's what I mean though. Is like if you're not a fan of horror games, probably not the game for you.
yeah.
Just in general, just because they did a good job on the blood and gore of this game, like you
Yeah.
said.
And they'll scare you. If you don't want to be scared, don't play it. But I still think Resident Evil 7 was way scarier. That, to me at least, that's the kind of stuff that freaks me out, like weird cult people and fucked up families, and it's like how PT was. That's kind of what Resident Evil 7 kind of touched on, like that real sort of disturbed, scary stuff. This is more just like traditional, this guy's going to fucking kill you. Start running. You have no bullets. You have no fucking herbs. And you have to go down this room with 4 liquors in it. All right. Fallout New California.
Yeah, I've been playing that sort of.
This is what exactly is this?
It's a full mod for Fallout New Vegas, but it completely
Third party mod,
but it completely makes a new story. The idea of it was instead you're in California, part of the NCR, and you're kind of doing like a play, like trying to build a story behind what happens in Fallout 2 to Fallout New Vegas. So it's like before Vegas was found,
right?
Yada yada yada.
A prequel.
Yeah. But no, it's really good, but at the same time really bad. Like you would expect of a third party kind of just some guy trying to make a story.
So what's good and what's bad?
I'm getting there because I found this because of a giant hate boner, because I saw it started getting articles at like PC Gamer and things like that of like people just like, oh, this is what Fallout 76 should have been. And it's just like, okay, sure, I'll try it out. Like, and I've watched some playthroughs of it. Yeah, no, if this is what you think Fallout 76 should have been, you're just as fucking stupid as Fallout 76. The beginning is fantastic. The actual intro to the story and the level, like the world that they created in the beginning, is phenomenal. It all has good enough voice acting, but basically you start out like every Fallout game, you're starting out in a vault, and there's probably about 2 or 3 hours worth of content of you in the vault before you leave, instead of just instantly getting thrown out. And all of that was really fucking well done. It was fantastic. Like the actual characters all had really good writing. There was a cool plot. You were trying to find out more, especially if you are more into like the original games, because that was some of it. What it was styled for was more of the original Fallouts of here's a bunch of text of a story that a world that's been built, and like if you go read it, it's really fascinating. But they did a really cool job of getting you invested in some of like your character, but also like the world that's going on around you, and like this time plot whole line of Fallout. And then shit happens, you get the vault blows up, etc., etc. Like every Fallout game, you have to leave the vault. After that, like I don't know if it was a different writer, but the writing just falls off a cliff. And
Damn.
It's like, it's not like the rest of the world gameplay isn't terrible, but it's very much like, oh yeah, this is Fallout New Vegas. It's a different setting, but like, oh, it's you know, the quests are go fix this thing. Like, and it's weird because some of the main story is still done really well. There's still some good pacing to the main story, but anything outside of that main story is just,
Kind of like filler.
yeah, but it's not even really good filler. It's just like, yeah, okay, all right. Because like they tried to do something which is kind of interesting for a Fallout game where there's a lot of cutscenes with the main story, and there's actually pretty well done for cutscenes, like using the Fallout New Vegas engine, which traces all the way back to 1999. Uh, like there's only so much you can do there, and they did a pretty good job with it. And like, but it's like it's cool because some of the cutscenes are really good, and like they help push the story along. But a lot of it's just pushing the story along. So it feels a little weird, like for in a Fallout type game, because Fallout, you know, you don't have, it's an open world RPG. You don't have cutscenes of a story pushing you along once you leave the vault. You know,
Right.
like it's not like, oh, here's a major plot point, here's a cutscene, here's something epic going on, or like cutscene kind of feel, and now go do this. Like, and some of that was actually really cool. It made the main plot pretty decently done.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the bigger problems though is like, okay, so you start in a vault and you get to meet these characters who you can eventually make companions out of, and they're all they're interesting. Like some of them are written pretty well, some of them are pretty meh, some of them you like they do a good job of making a couple of characters that you just fucking hate, and that's important because it's more old school Fallout where you can be evil, you can just go kill everyone if you want, like without consequences or some consequences. But the second you're outside of the vault, everyone's written completely different. They just kind of, you lose interest in all of your companions that you're supposed to be traveling with for the most part. Or like they just, their motives seem to change drastically almost to a point where they just become very uninteresting.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them completely do a 180. Like one of your possible main companions was like this cool artsy dude, and then once he leaves the vault, he regains his memories and becomes full tribal monotone dude who's just goes and kills everything. And you're just kind of sitting there like, oh yeah,
So the writing's not that good then.
yeah. Like some of it's weird, some of it did really well, some of it was, yeah.
It's probably,
Like,
you're right. It's probably one person writing that beginning and then another person took over.
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because like once you start getting towards the end, some of the plot lines start falling apart,
Yeah.
or just like really weird twists to it. But for a free mod of like replacing a game, it's still pretty cool. It's still really impressive, and like if you got Fallout New Vegas, I would suggest giving it a shot.
Yeah.
It's like it is pretty cool. Of like, no, they made a complete map, and the map text, like the map textures are pretty decent. Like it's an actual full map world kind of. It's not filled as much as I'd want, but like, you know, there's there's a big town in it. There's a couple of good sized cities and like other like locations. Like it's a full DLC sized map that they've completely customly made,
Mm-hmm.
that this whole story takes place in, along with like complete characters and things like that. Like it's really impressive what they've done. Just some of it's very hit or miss, but I'd still probably recommend it. And it's mostly just because those first 3 hours are really fucking good,
And it's free.
and it's free.
All right, go check it out.
It's like it's not bad. I want to, you know, I'd give it a 7.
That's
It's one
pretty
of those
good.
like you'll have fun with it. You'll like really enjoy it in the beginning, and you'll probably
If
be
it
like,
was $10, how much? What would you rate it? If it was $10, what would you rate it? Like if they charge $10 for it,
probably drop down to a 6.
6.
Yeah, where I'd be harsher on it. At the same time, like the intro is that good. The intro is that good, and like for the, I mean, base playthrough, it's it's still Fallout New Vegas. It's still got good gunplay. It's still got a really good inventory system, RPG elements to it. Like the base, you're building it on a good base game in the first place.
Right.
So it's still enjoyable.
All right, cool. Let's get into news. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah. No, there was a lot of hype around it, that was what got me to try it. I've never seen a mod get that much hype around it in a while. Because there's a couple other projects for people who are interested in Fallout stuff. Before we hit the news real quick, there's been a couple of these coming out where people are taking Fallout 4 and New Vegas and just trying to make Fallout games the way they think they should have gone.
I'm okay with that.
Whole like super interesting, or like if people are interested in that whole Fallout universe, there's like a couple of them coming out too, where it's like Fallout 4, I think, has a big mod that's like Miami, like what happened in Miami, or there's tons of people trying to figure out the rest of the US of like what actually happens in a Fallout, and it's just, I don't know, that's kind of cool to me and a fascinating concept.
Yeah.
So
no, that's pretty cool.
Please keep making these mods, people. They're kind of cool. You can improve the quality, but I'm not going to rip you too hard when you're a team of 6 people who spent 6 years making something for free.
Why not do Fallout 4? Why not mod Fallout 4? Why New Vegas? Is this a more superior engine or something?
I wouldn't say that, but I think when this project was started, I don't know if 4 was even out. I don't think 4 was even out when this project started, but it's also, there is one coming out for Fallout 4 eventually that's kind of similar to this, but I think it's mostly this worked with the setting too. Because Fallout New Vegas is the NCR, New California Republic is coming to Vegas, and so are these bad guys from the other side of Nevada. They're coming from Colorado and Arizona. Like that's the big plot point of Vegas. So like this mod was talking about the NCR, which is one of the main factions of the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
So thematically, it makes more sense. You have a lot more assets already of, I'm making a game about the California side of the desert. I'm going to use the game about the desert. It's already there.
Yeah. All right. Metroid Prime scrapped. Development has been restarted with original developer Retro Studios taking over. Uh-oh.
Yeah. So Nintendo came out with a Metroid Prime update, and it was I'm not sure who was one of the big ups, like the higher ups in Nintendo, and it's them like on a white screen, like just saying, unfortunately, development has, and like everyone apparently was like, all right, are they canceling Prime 4? So what happened was they were not happy with the development of this game. They rushed announcing this thing to begin with, but apparently they had a bunch of people working all over over the world, each kind of like working on a piece of the game. So like one place, what they were working on was fine, but somewhere else it was just a dumpster fire.
Okay.
So they were like, this is not going the way that we as Nintendo hold our standards.
And that's nothing really against Nintendo, to be honest. That's welcome to development. That's very real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, most companies, they could have said nothing. They could have said nothing and just be like, yeah, the game will come out when it comes out. And they've done this like not publicly, but I actually appreciate the fact that they came out and publicly stated what was happening.
They had to, because this is where I will say bad Nintendo. This is why you don't announce games 3 years before they're supposed to come out.
Hi, imagine if Death Stranding had to be scrapped a bunch of times and we never knew about that.
Yeah.
Which it almost feels like it has, because it's taken so long for that game to come out.
But it's okay. Because
But I mean,
they didn't really.
there's a really good quote, and I get, some people like argue about it, but like a delayed game can eventually be a good game.
Yeah.
A rushed game will always be bad.
Yeah. No, that's why I was a Blizzard fan back in the day, and why it's really hard to support Blizzard currently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm happy that it's actually Retro doing it now, because they're the ones who made The original Prime games. They're the ones who made Prime good. Like,
Yeah.
So who
when
was
it's in there,
originally
yeah.
doing it?
They haven't said. There's been rumors that it was a lot of Bandai Namco was helping out. And there's other reports saying that it was a bunch of studios around the world, each handling something different. So one studio handling like maybe characters, another studio handling animations. And when you have that stuff not in-house and not all together, stuff can get lost, and it's hard to micromanage when you're managing 5 different divisions working on the same game.
But then
That's
again,
not
look at Rockstar.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're not communicating, maybe, and then you've got
They-
one stuff that's ahead of schedule and something else that's just completely far behind.
It is still all Rockstar.
Now you're
too.
getting retro.
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah.
That's all Rockstar. Like if they're porting things out to other people, stuff like that, no, there's gonna be massively different levels of quality.
Yeah.
Even though they're scrapping it, I'm hoping that some of the work that they did, at least the groundwork that was salvageable, can at least be a base to work off of. But I am happy that it's in-house with Retro. Like, Retro has a good track record of games. The unfortunate part is you might be waiting until 2022 to play this game.
You're never gonna get this fucking game now.
It'll probably come out at the end of the Switch's life cycle.
It's like they're starting over.
They pretty much are.
They have to get all the teams, up on what's going on, all the weird little stupid shit that
And
old developer was doing.
The crazy thing is Retro hasn't done. The last thing Retro worked on was Tropical Freeze, the original game on the Wii U, and then the Tropical Freeze port they did for Switch. Other than that, they have not released any games. There's apparently been some rumors that they were working on a Star Fox game. There's rumors that they were working on a game, but development was going so poorly on that they had to cancel it and just completely scrap it. Like, how many years of work on that?
That's not good.
Or whatever secret project they've been working on that no one knows about is done. And that's why they went to do Prime, because they're like, hey, we can now do the game because we're done with our current work. So maybe they have a game coming out soon. We won't really know. And if it was something canceled, we probably will never find out.
Yeah. All right. Smash Bros. Patch 2.0 is out. Piranha Plant is here.
I was actually playing some Piranha Plant before we started recording.
How do you like him?
No one's surprised.
He's different, interesting. I like him, but there's a few things I gotta practice. That's what it comes down to. His recovery.
How do you get him? I was trying to get him. I don't know how to get him.
Did you buy it digitally?
Yeah.
You should check your email. They should be sending out codes to your email. It's so dumb how they did it. I know, it's Nintendo being dumb. I bought mine physically, so when I earned the coins from the game card, it registered me for a code, and then they mailed me a code, and then I had to go to the actual eShop to use that code to get the character.
Oh my god.
So check your email, whatever email you have associated with your Nintendo account, and see if they check your spam and junk folders as well to see if they sent you a code.
Yeah, they probably did.
Within the last 2 months.
Oh my god, really?
I got mine in December.
Oh my god, I'm never gonna fucking get this character.
I think you can buy the character, but you have to buy the character later.
No, he's not that good. I'm not
Just
gonna
go to your email and use the search bar.
He is fun.
No. I'm gonna manually search for it.
His aerials kind of suck, which is unfortunate.
I like how he has that that long neck thing.
It's really cool for edge guarding, like going off stage with it, and it does stall you. And his recovery is it's a bit slow, but it covers so much like vertical and horizontal range with a hitbox.
Like I love his little
it's
ball,
like K
spike
Rool's
ball.
recovery. Yeah, it's like K Rool's recovery, but better.
Mm-hmm.
I do enjoy it. But
he's actually like a viable character from what it looks like.
There's some crazy things you can do with him.
Yeah.
His I've been using his
I got
up
bodied
throw.
by a good one last night.
Yeah, so like I said, a lot of it just takes practice because his moveset is very time based. So like knowing how far your reach is with the stem move, knowing how long it takes to come out and what stuff. And then there's crazy combos with that poison mist.
Mm-hmm.
if you're able to poison mist and then grab them and just keep them in the mist, you can deal up to like 60 damage real quick.
Yeah.
And then an up throw to kill or something. So I'm excited. Tournaments are gonna start using him, so I want to see like how he does in tournament. But yeah, if you bought the game early, if you physically did it and you did the points, you can get the code. And then I don't know what's going on with their like. Apparently, a bunch of people are having issues getting the character that bought the game digitally.
Oh, great.
What do you think
Why you
though
buy
about?
physically.
What do you think about balance changes though?
I saw some of the patch notes, and a lot of them make sense. Like I knew they were gonna nerf King K. Rool.
Nerf is
I
what?
knew they were gonna buff. Well, they nerfed some of his stuff. Like I think one of his hitboxes on his recovery. I think there's a couple things that got like his landing lag got increased, and other things like that. It's
They shortened the length of the vacuum neutral, reduced the range of his up special, and shortened the amount of time undamaged opponents are buried in his downward.
Yeah, so he doesn't get the free combo from like early percents of like burying you and then just doing the jab combo. But like Incineroar got some buffs, the launch distance of his up throw, which makes it better. His up special, the recovery, has extended vertical and horizontal distance, so you can recover from a little bit further away than you used to be, which is better because his recovery is so booty.
Yeah, it's terrible.
His down air got a reduced landing lag, which is really good. His up smash has extended launch distance, and his up smash was already pretty good, so that makes it even better. So he got some good stuff. Cloud, who's my main, not really much. Didn't really get touched that much. There's some characters that didn't even get touched at all.
Wow, Lucas has 4 buffs. They added electrical damage to 3 of his attacks.
He just got a lot of electrical damage added, which helps him with damage because he didn't really have that much before.
Sheik got 5.
Sheik is bad. And like what I mean by Sheik is bad, she just can't damage you. You'll hit 5 times and then you get hit once. Yeah, and can't kill. Chrom got nerfed. So Chromicide, where you use your recovery to take your opponent off stage and just kill both of you and you win. They changed it so Chrom will be killed first. So if you do that, you lose instead of win. But him and Roy both had their down airs, the landing lag shortened on them, which seems to just be like a common because I think they both have the same down air. So that was just like change one of them, change both of them. But I mean, this is like, I like that they actually gave us some kind of patch notes. They're not the greatest patch notes, but they are at least better.
Yeah, you got something. Yo,
Jigglypuff like got mad buffs.
Yeah. All right.
Hopefully it means we see more of these characters in competitive play.
Death Stranding will take a while. That's what we get. That's what we get with Death Stranding.
Well, yeah.
Is this a current gen game anymore? Like honestly,
it can't be. It can't be.
I don't think it is. I don't think it's gonna release on current gens.
Hideo Kojima. It'll take a while, but meanwhile, I hope everyone enjoys the film.
I mean, the game's gonna be a film anyway, so.
I mean, that's Kojima. Kojima's more interested in making movies than games, so.
I'm okay with it. I love his stupid fucking
Metal Gear. You wanted cutscenes about Kingdom Hearts. Jeez. How
about
Metal
that
Gear
was
Solid 4?
That was exactly my thing too. I was like, damn, why do you Japanese developers put so many cutscenes in their games? And I was thinking about Metal Gear 2. There's so many in Metal Gear 2.
Metal Gear 4 was a friggin' like a 30-hour movie of cutscenes.
Yeah. Yep. All right, well, we're not going to see Death Stranding for another 2-3 years.
It's Death Stranded.
Yeah, Death Stranded, as you can see. Dragon Ball Z Fighter Season Pass 2. I don't know, do you have anything you want to say about it?
So tomorrow, Thursday the 31st, you can get Jiren and Videl, which I'm glad they added Videl. I hated Jiren. I don't like the pick, but Videl is cool because one, another female character in the game, which we don't have a lot of. Two, they're treating her kind of like they treated 18, where she has like a combo partner, which is the Great Saiyaman, which I love what they're doing with that. The Dragon Ball Super movie, Broly and Gogeta, the Super Saiyan Blue, are being added. So we have another Goku. Another Goku. Jerry, are you not happy about another Goku?
And another Vegeta.
There's two Brolys. There's two Brolys in this game.
Why?
Either way,
okay,
the season
hey,
pass,
you know what? They're doing this game just like they did this series.
to be fair, they are updating the game mechanics with the next patch. And they changed a lot of mechanics. So I'm really excited to see it because a lot of combos are broken. So people are going to have new combos. And a lot of the stuff that was making the game too defensive was changed. So should be interesting to see how it goes now that they're actually patching mechanics.
All right.
So,
Resident Evil Netflix series apparently in the works. So now they're riding that Resident Evil train real hard these days.
I would watch it. Netflix has done some solid stuff with the video game, like the video game stuff they've been given so far, between Castlevania and
I'm
Castlevania.
Still waiting though before I pass judgment.
Let's see how the Witcher. Let's see how the Witcher
got the big one.
series does first.
Yeah. We'll see how good they actually are at video games.
I'm gonna be so fucking critical of this series once it gets released. I really don't want them to do it because I feel like it's gonna hurt my feelings.
Apparently, the Resident Evil.
Yeah, I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, apparently, the Resident Evil studio, like the studio behind doing this for Netflix, is the same people who made the Resident Evil movies. So, did you like those?
Kind of. I kind of did.
The first one.
Oh.
The first one was
The
alright.
second one and later kind of got up its own ass.
Well, they kind of fit in the same kind of like Blade realm, like that weird sort of like sci-fi shit. You know what I mean? Like that. I don't know, that weird kind of gory cyberpunk 90s sci-fi.
You put on trip hop sunglasses and trench coats.
Yeah, exactly.
And then some booming techno music.
I was super into that stuff,
like
the Matrix and fucking Wachowski brothers and shit like that. So
just put on Rammstein.
Don't expect the Matrix out of this.
No. Blade 2 is the best Blade movie. Guillermo del Toro is the reason why.
Yeah, Blade is such an underrated series, man.
I don't know. Then it
Blade
could
only
be
had
very
2 movies.
interesting.
How did we not have a Blade video game? Did we?
Probably.
Maybe. It was probably bad.
Starring
E.T. the video
Wesley
game.
Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. Oh, there was a Blade video game on
Of course
PlayStation.
I thought there was, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's watch some of it.
I don't want to watch that.
I thought I remembered one.
That's like watching Enter the Matrix.
Oh,
or
it
the
looks
Path of
awesome,
Neo.
dude. It looks so great. Wesley Snipes' fucking flat top is in the game.
Dude, the flat top.
Oh my god, it looks so great.
Do you know if he put that on his taxes when he didn't do them?
All right. And then finally, Bethesda and Fallout 76 cannot stop fucking up. What's going on?
They updated a new patch, and apparently the patch was supposed to, work out some bugs, and it fixed some bugs, and then it reintroduced the old bugs back into the game. And apparently, when people were complaining about it, they people working with Bethesda were going and deleting comments. So,
ouchies.
Fallout 76 has just been an utter failure.
Well, you know what? They're trying at least.
They're trying, yeah. I will say there's some people who love the fuck out of it. So
really,
I mean, there were some people who loved the fuck out of No Man's Sky when it came out,
and yet you didn't buy either of them.
Nope,
not for me.
No, I know. Doobie, I love how you hate these games sometimes so much without.
There's a reason why I don't buy them.
I know, but then you just sit there and hating. but no, like no, I was gonna say the game's still trash. They still haven't fixed some of the stuff that should.
Why you hating? I'm just kidding.
Because I actually bought the game and just relaunched
Did
it.
you actually buy it?
Yeah, we went over
Okay.
this like months ago.
I didn't know if you bought it or just played the demo.
He has buyer's remorse.
I don't.
He's
I
trying
don't
to justify it.
No, that's why I kind of defend it. I don't have buyer's remorse for it. It's a bad game, but no, it's not that fucking bad.
I mean, I came close to buying No Man's Sky right before it came out, and then
No, the thing, what I did think was hilarious though, I did launch into it. I still got into a server just fine and like still enjoyed playing it. No, I was level 30 or something like that. I haven't played the game that fucking much. But no, there's still people who love the fuck out of this game apparently because the other half of the map was filled with like there were 10 players who were above level 150, which is kind of insane.
That is
How
pretty
long
cool,
do you have to play to get that level? Do you think?
A lot. They've been playing since launch, like religiously. I'm pretty sure, because I got to level like 20, playing it every day for like over a week, and that's like the easy levels. So if you're like 150, like, yeah, son, you probably invested way too much time into this game.
Well, those type of games always have players for some reason that just get so locked in, and if you can't back out once you're 60 hours
it's like
deep in a
MMOs
game.
in general.
Yeah, exactly. There's
Especially
some MMOs that are
that,
terrible that people just constantly play.
I don't know. It's one of those like if it fits some people like it. It's one of those like the game's fine at this point actually. Like it's not good, it's not terrible. It's just shouldn't have happened, but it did.
Well, if they learn from their mistake and don't do it to, well, they already did Elder Scrolls Online. That's right.
But ESO's even pretty decent now.
I've heard ESO is pretty solid, but I'm just not an MMO guy.
Yeah,
I just want Elder Scrolls 6. I just want that.
Yeah. No, like
it's all I want.
Honestly, yeah, even ESO's a different studio, but it's still pretty much every MMO at the moment sucks, to be honest. MMOs are kind of dying, but ESO is actually probably one of the top 3. It would still be WoW, Final Fantasy, and ESO.
Maybe where's EverQuest?
And then EverQuest is in the same place as RuneScape. There's still some diehards, but like, why?
Maybe I'll get back into EverQuest.
Yo, gotta get back onto that RuneScape, man.
Are they still charging for it? That's kind of what I want to know. Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
No, like the only people who play it are like the ones who still play. What I want to know is, well, wait, do you still have to pay to be able to play old school RuneScape?
I don't think
that's the only one. That's the only one people.
I think OSRS is free, and I know that a lot of people do like Iron Man, where it's like permadeath Iron Man challenges.
What I want to know is like, is it still the old pay model where like it's free, but you have to buy membership to get the other half of the world?
Right.
I remember
If it's
that.
still exactly like that, that's fucking hilarious and amazing.
I remember that.
I can't imagine them just dropping that.
Yeah, dude, no, free
cash
player.
out.
It is, dude. Free player play now. Member pay now.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
dude. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's still the same bullshit launcher. So yeah, you can still do that, or you can still go get EverQuest.
Or you can play Maple Story online.
There's a new Maple Story too.
There's a new Maple Story. What the fuck?
Is it coming
I thought
out?
That died.
Yeah, no, there's a new Maple Story.
It's too good.
Oh, there
What
is
about
Maple
Ragnarok
Story 2.
Online?
Yeah, no, there's a Maple
Oh,
Story.
it's like
2
a fucking Minecraft thing going on.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Where's
Yeah,
Ragnarok
this
Online?
this became a thing because of those what is it? One of our friends plays it. It starts with like a Z, I think. I don't know. There's like been like a bunch of like weird Minecraft MMOs too that are all now a thing.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
Terraria is the best Minecraft.
Minecraft's pretty good if you just want to chill, build some shit. I
Like,
had a good time playing Minecraft.
It's
when
not
I got
even
into
necessarily like that. It's like, no, it's a full MMO just in Minecraft, basically.
All
Yeah,
right.
so now-
God.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try Maple Story 2 just to rip it apart.
What have we started?
Doobie, how much do I have to pay you to play Fallout 76?
I mean, you can buy the game for me.
Would
and
you
then
actually
I'll-
beat?
No,
Would you
won't
play it?
You still haven't
I mean,
beat The Witcher.
I would play it for like maybe like an hour or two, and then I'll give you my 1 hour review.
Have you played Fallout 4?
I played Fallout. No, I only played Fallout 3, and I didn't like it.
Yeah, you're not gonna like Fallout 4 then.
You're not gonna like any of them, to be honest.
No, I just want to play Elder Scrolls.
Which is interesting because I think Fallout is a little bit more fun than Elder Scrolls. Like I like Elder Scrolls, but the gunplay in Fallout is really
I've
what
been
makes it
playing.
fun.
I've been playing Elder Scrolls since Morrowind, and then Oblivion, and then Skyrim about 5 more times on every other platform.
Do you remember
Oh,
a
yeah.
character
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Mercurio
Yeah.
in Elder Scrolls? I have a buddy that is exactly like him, and we call him Mercurio because he just is such an idiot. And he just like follows people around like Mercurio does.
I mean, no, I
Shout
still
out to
like.
Mercurio if you're listening.
It's weird. I think I have more hours in Elder Scroll games, but I still like Fallout more.
Yeah, Fallout. The world
it's
is
mostly-
pretty cool.
And it's just, I think that's why I can still enjoy 76. Like Fallout 4 and that, and it's got good gunplay. It feels good to shoot things with their guns. It's still always fun to do that, basically.
It's not even that. It's not even that it's good because it's like it's no Doom. You know what I mean? But it's
No,
like
but,
the
like,
whole
it's-
act of like going out and finding shit and getting those guns and then using them. Like that's
And
always addicting.
It's rewarding because
Yeah.
they have gotten better too with sound assets, basically, and that's what makes it feel good, so
Yeah.
to say. But like, I'm hopeful for Elder Scrolls 6. I know we won't see it for forever. I would be actually interested in their Starfield cyberpunk competitor bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm almost wondering though, is like, did they start really actually making Starfield because they knew cyberpunk was going to be a thing?
I'm curious to see where the studio actually goes because Fallout 76
That too.
just with the actual game of it just didn't really make much sense, and I don't
It
want them to
doesn't?
do that ever
Yeah.
again.
And I mean, they're like, let's be honest, I am worried about Bethesda too, because Fallout 76, playing it, I can see what they were going for. It just came nowhere close to what they wanted it to be.
Right.
So they shouldn't have done anything with it. They're also they're becoming Blizzard-ish,
Right. Exactly.
which is
That's
what's
what it feels
scary because like then it's like, okay, we know everyone wants Elder Scrolls, we're gonna release a phone game.
Right.
They did that first. It
Right.
like
They're going the Blizzard route.
It does worry me there, where it's just like, okay, so now we got. I mean, they're still doing good things. Black and White was fine, like it was pretty decent. Wolfenstein's still good, but how long do we have of good Wolfenstein? How long do we have of good Doom?
I mean, we just got back good Wolfenstein with
and now I'm
first
already
one in order because that franchise was going nowhere.
and
Yeah.
then like 2 was good too, and now I'm already worried that like, what's next?
Yeah. We
Are
will
they going
see.
to be able to make a third that's just as good as 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Also,
'cause, like,
get Wolfenstein. If you haven't played it, get Wolfenstein.
yeah, Wolfenstein's great.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
What's the last
then-
one? The New World Order?
The
that what it's called?
New Order was the first one. Wolfenstein
Yeah,
2. The
Yeah, whatever the last one they did.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
No, like both of them are great. If you get them on, like definitely, if you ever see them on sale, 100% recommend.
first one you can get on sale a lot for. It's pretty cheap too.
Yeah.
Even the second one.
Mhm.
Second one is
But, like,
it's
it's-
like bargain bin now.
I think we just gotta embrace indie studios at this point because they all suck.
CD Projekt Red is our savior.
Yeah, like then, and that's all we got left, boys.
Don't forget
Yep.
about Doom.
Yeah.
Right, but that's still Bethesda, and I'm worried about Bethesda.
I mean,
Yeah.
Bethesda is a publisher.
True.
Yeah.
They're
That's
not the
the
dev.
hope.
That's
Dude,
ID. ID is
all
the dev.
we need
That's
is
the hope,
another
yeah.
fucking Doom release on the Switch, and we'll fucking ruin that franchise.
I mean, you know it's coming to the Switch, though, right?
Yeah, all of their fucking games.
But-
Elder Scrolls 9 is coming to the Switch. Skyrim 6.
Skyrim 6. The Skyriming. I don't know.
Dude,
All right.
I'm actually, you know what? We'll see. They've at least announced Elder Scrolls 6. And we'll see if it does come out before what my old prediction was of we're going to see Skyrim remastered before we ever see any other game.
I mean, we got Skyrim remastered.
Did we get that already?
We did, actually. Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
yeah, we did.
Oh God, it came out already?
It came out like 2 years ago.
That was the one that came out on the Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, they're calling that a remaster?
That
Yeah.
was considered a remaster.
The Skyriming. All right. Moving on to tech news. 2080 RTX mobile Max Q chips are going nuts. They're going nuts. What
They
kind
are.
of performance are we seeing here?
Pretty damn beastly, actually.
I don't know.
Like, I'm actually willing to give them props because numbers so far is like better than a 1080 desktop, kind of like almost 1080 Ti desktop.
That's insane.
That's pretty nice.
And it's Max Q design, so if you look at this laptop, it's nice and thin. You know.
The biggest problem is the only people who reviewed it that I've been able to find so far are CNET. And
They're more of an
CNET
affiliate company.
It's partially that, but no, it's more just like, okay, they started graphing out performance, and your comparables are a 1070 Max Q, a 1080, and two 2080 Ti's and SLI.
Oh,
What?
okay. That's all I got.
Yeah, it's like,
That's all
why
I
don't
have
you-
at the office.
why don't you compare it against like a 2080 normal?
Well, it's definitely
Or like a single 2080. No, you're gonna compare it against a 1080 and two 2080 Ti's and SLI. Like,
well, you're
okay.
definitely getting better performance than a 1080. At least in these benchmarks, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Far Cry 5, and then
The other thing too
three
is
marks.
they never say like what settings, this or that. Like they do way at the bottom, but not like per game. You know what I mean? And like they show what the hardware specs are. In all of their graphs, they still don't say what the resolution is.
Oh man, what the fuck? Come on,
Like,
CNET.
Is this 1080? Is this
So this
4K?
is the only one that you were able to see?
that I found so far? Yeah,
Let's see if we can find
I
it.
think this is at 4K.
Really?
I don't know.
4K? No, it can't be. Maybe. All right, here we go. Here's some
I don't know. It's
notebookcheck.net.
no. This is at 1080. I'm thinking because the display on the unit they're testing has a 1080, but they don't list what anything else is, so I don't know.
Wait, what is this? This is...
So I'd assume these are all 1080 tests.
Oh my god. All of these graphs suck. I
But
can't...
you're getting over 1080 desktop performance
Yeah.
in a mobile 2080 chip. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's going to be expensive, but that's the top of the line that you're going to get. So if you want a gaming... And you're getting RTX, so you're getting real-time ray tracing, you're getting DLSS, you're getting all that good stuff with it if you want to use that stuff, which is awesome. It's crazy. You got fucking real-time ray tracing at respectable, easily respectable frames per second in a thin
Maybe.
and light laptop.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Fingers
hopefully.
crossed.
Hopefully.
We still don't really know.
Hopefully. But
that's the other thing is like, because it is okay, it's over 1080 performance, which that's really awesome. But like, how does that equate to ray tracing? So what? It's a 2060 probably for ray tracing.
yeah. And mind you, the ones that they're benching next to are in the Alienware. Is this a desktop Alienware? No. This is a laptop Alienware, but it's using the desktop chip.
Right,
So
and
it
then I have
could
no.
be-
The Origin PC is desktop
Yeah.
because they're comparing it against you.
So they're comparing it against a desktop with SLI 2080 Ti's and then
and
a
an i9 i9-99K.
And then a laptop with a desktop chip inside of it. What
Yeah.
the fuck are they doing? See, this is
Yeah.
why it sucks when you see affiliate benchmarks, because maybe they're doing this on purpose to kind of say, hey, look, it's a little bit more than the 1080, and then they're just giving you the 2080 Ti performance just to show you.
So we have a $2,500 laptop next to a couple of other $2,000-ish laptops next to the Alienware 17 is probably nowhere close with 2,000 anymore. Maybe.
Let's check.
Well, no, the 17 R4 would be, because it's a desktop chip with a mobile processor.
Right.
But the other old Asus is all laptop. That would be a lot cheaper now because it's a 1070.
Yeah.
Versus a $10,000 desktop.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that's super promising. I want to see the Razer. I want to see some more benches.
Yeah, I do too, because like that. Still, even though as dumb as this test group is, that's really fucking solid performance.
Yeah. Really,
Like,
yeah.
compared against a desktop 1080, that's pretty good actually.
Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, if you stick this on a 1080 display like this is, yeah, you can probably run anything.
Yeah.
Even with RTX, if you're sticking to 1080.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Next, Huawei has been charged by the U.S. for trying to steal from T-Mobile. Charges against the world's second largest smartphone maker include bank fraud, obstruction of justice, and theft of technology. The case could ratchet up tensions between China and the U.S. and impact the firm's global expansion efforts. Both Ms. Meng and Huawei deny the allegations. Ms. Meng was arrested in Canada last month at the request for the U.S. for allegedly evading sanctions on Iran. So remember, we were talking about that story, how her work with Iran, she was using some sort of like shell company.
With their weird shell, the weird shell company that just had the same logo and a similar name, but
It was like
related,
called Skynet or some stupid shit.
With the same exact logo.
For years, Chinese firms have broken our export laws and undermined sanctions, often using U.S. financial systems to facilitate their illegal activities. This will end, said Secretary Wilbur Ross. In a statement, Huawei rejected the charges, saying it didn't commit any of the asserted violations and that it is not aware of any wrongdoing by Ms. Meng. It said the allegations were already the subject of a settled civil lawsuit in which a jury found neither damages nor willful and malicious conduct on the trade secret claim. What are the charges? The indictment alleges Huawei misled the U.S. and a global bank about its relationship with two subsidiaries, Huawei Device and Skycom Tech. That was the other one. U.S. President Donald Trump's administration had reinstated all sanctions on Iran and removed under a 2015 nuclear deal, and recently imposed even stricter measures hitting oil exports, shipping, and banks. Second case alleges Huawei stole technology from T-Mobile used to test smartphone durability, as well as obstructing justice and committing wire fraud. The T-Mobile tech, known as Tappy, mimicked human fingers to test phones. In all, the U.S. had laid 23 charges against the company. These charges lay bare Huawei's alleged blatant disregard for the laws of our country and standard global business practices. And one of the biggest things with China in general
Is Tappy.
is IP theft, IP infringement, IP theft.
Oh yeah, it's all insider baseball of IP.
Yeah. That's the biggest shit that is
I
facing
just
us.
totally had a stroke there. No, yeah, like it's all a lot of IP theft of insider trading, because like half of these companies are all owned by the same company.
Yeah.
So they just kind of all steal from each other and pass things around.
And that's a big issue. And one thing that I commend the Trump administration for is, cracking down on China's IP theft of American properties. I mean, it's just been going on for a while. In the other industry, the vaping industry, we saw how it just like completely demolished so many American companies and just ripping them off. But it's something you got to deal with, and hopefully this is a step to kind of put down the hammer. Huawei's a huge company. Who knows if the charges will stick? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what T-Mobile is going to do about it.
Yeah, no, it's kind of interesting too because I personally I want to dig a lot deeper into Huawei, but it's really hard to.
Yeah, they're very
There's not a
good.
that, but it's a lot. It's really hard to get good reporting on
That's the problem.
Huawei, especially out of China.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
so tight knit with the with everything, with the government there, with relations, all that stuff, and
'cause
that's
I'd love
scary.
I would love to do like an actual deep dive into them,
This really
just
hurts
because
their
there is
company.
yeah, but it's this, but it's a lot of the national security issues that have been happening, so to say. Like, what are they? I still don't know. That's the hard. Like,
Right.
we just know apparently it's a national security issue that stopped them from using their phones, and now there's charges against them for it. And I think a couple of months ago, we convinced every other Western country basically to not use them for 5G, things like that. Like, those are serious claims, and I'm kind of interested. I want to know.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what the basis of all this is.
Yeah, and it hurts their company fiscally because if you're in the US, like I'm not gonna get a Huawei product until we know what the fuck's going on. You know, I'm not gonna be I do all my banking on my phone and stuff like that. Who knows what's on their shit on their laptops. And
Yeah,
just the
their
allegation
laptops are
alone.
great.
Yeah.
I want to use them, but I'm not fucking buying it.
Yeah, it's just
But I want to
not
know.
worth it. It's not worth it right now. And right now in a time where security measures are so low across all levels, like, you know, just the companies that you deal with, they do not do a good job of protecting your information. So you don't want to open that up even further by using a product that could have, you know, be tapping other companies through you. Who knows if you could be implicated on that stuff. It's pretty crazy, but we will keep you updated on the information coming out. And I watched this earlier today. What's his name? What's this guy's name? Um, what's his name? I forget. The new AG, Attorney General. I need to know his name. That's not Wilbur. Oh, Whitaker. Robert Whitaker. That's his name. He was given the conference today, and yeah, they seem pretty pissed, to say the least. All right, Navi has been spotted in Mac OS's latest update. This is out of OC3D.net. AMD Navi Radeon Navi GPU spotted in Mac OS's latest update.
Thanks to Tony Mac x86, the champion.
Yeah.
I think that's the best part. Is all of this news is coming from the pro teams who make Hackintoshes.
There you go.
Like, that's where all of this information is coming
Thank
from.
you, Tony Mac x86.
It's the hotbed of making Hackintoshes.
Apple has started to prepare their OS for AMD's next-gen graphics card lineup with a file called AMD Radeon 6000 HW Service SKEXT, revealing 4 potential Navi SKUs. AMD's Radeon Navi architecture will succeed the company's existing Vega designs, delivering what is expected to be a considerable performance boost. This boost will come thanks to AMD's use of 7nm lithography and design changes to the Navi architecture itself. 4 Navi cards are named Navi 16, 12, 10, and 9. All of which are likely to be unique product variants rather than 4 individual pieces of silicon, referring to the use of 16, 12, 10, and 9 compute units. If this is correct, the high-end model Navi 16 will act as a direct replacement for AMD's Polaris 11 Silicon, which also offers 16 compute units. So if this is the case and we get to see this spring, because I'm assuming that's when we would see it, then I'm definitely going to be getting an iMac Pro or an iMac, whatever it comes in.
Mac Pro, give me a Mac Pro.
Yeah. If it's a Mac Pro, let's hope that
this is
modular.
Interesting too. Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah, I hope I want to be able to fix it, but Apple seems pretty against that.
Or just upgrade it.
Yeah, but the other things too is like the new device IDs a lot like the old Fury cards, which is interesting. So it could be that's the Fury was a top end card for them, which I wasn't expecting. If it does end up being a more higher end card that they're going to release first or release with Apple products, because usually they like to launch their 480 series.
Yeah. And those are the
Fury
ones you
was
would
like
see in the laptops too.
yeah, and Fury's a lot more like Vega, or not Vega. Yeah, Vega.
Yeah.
It's a lot more RX Vega level. It used to be like that $400 price mark of that back when the high end was, physically normal and affordable,
Yeah.
and not $1,200 Nvidia.
Yeah.
But like, no, that would be really cool. But I'm getting hyped because that's my wish, as I'm really hoping for Navi to show up by the end of the year and us see some really good cards based off this 7 nanometer tech.
Yeah.
Because like, I'm still hyped for the Radeon 7 to an extent. I don't think I'm going to buy one. I don't know if there's going to be a reason for people to buy one, but I mean, they used the same architecture and got what's leaking like a 25 to 30% jump off of just the fab shift. If you also add new architecture to that built for it, that could be kind of sexy.
The dream for me is getting an iMac and then having a second boot into Windows and being able to actually game on it. You know, that's the dream, because then that'll
or have a
serve.
third boot into Linux, but I'm sure the T2 chip will still be there to tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah, definitely the T3 chip now. So I think that's what I want, and obviously for performance gains and like editing and stuff. But just the older cards and the older iMacs just didn't have the graphics power necessary to do that.
If you came out with Navi instantly, like when Navi is releasing, that would be pretty huge.
Yeah,
it'd be pretty crazy. That's like that'd be like the first time I think Apple, at least in a long time, where Apple's launching something new when it comes out, like architecture wise.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of, it seems like they're building with AMD, because we have the Vega MacBooks that kind of just came out of nowhere. And it seems like Apple was like, hey, let's have this relationship where you give us access to your chips as soon as possible, and we'll buy them from you, and we're going to help you develop with us. That way you always have this contract, because obviously with NVIDIA and they're having problems with Intel speeds, and with NVIDIA, it's just too much of a premium for them.
Well, then they're still pissy over graphics drivers.
All right.
That's still going on, by the way. Yeah. No, but like AMD's also like the perfect partner for that, because AMD's whole area of expertise is SoC and things like that kind of level of graphics, which I can see Apple also really liking, because Apple wants everything as small as possible.
Right.
If you can, that would be crazier too, is if you can get like Navi, get good graphics out of a laptop, and it's still the size of a MacBook Air.
Or think about this: sits there with Radeon down the line when Apple releases their own silicon, and then they have Navi graphics running behind it, because
that'd be sick. Hopefully,
who knows what the AX series chips are going to do graphically, but you have AMD's entire team on that, and you don't even have to worry about that.
I still want a Ryzen based
iPad.
No, Mac Pro. Give me like the new Mac Pro with a 16-core Ryzen chip in it, or Threadripper, and like high-end AMD graphics.
I honestly think you're going to see that this year.
I'd buy one in a heartbeat.
We know a Mac Pro's coming. We know it's going to be modular. We know that they're so done with Intel.
And my hope too with the modular stuff, I still secretly hope they'll do the dream that's really fucking hard to do, which I know they won't do. You have a Ryzen chip and you have the A13X, whatever they're going to call it. Put them both on the same board.
Mm-hmm.
Let me use both.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I hope out of a Pro machine, if they really want to switch to ARM.
Right.
Because you got to recode all of that.
I think you're dreaming, though.
I am totally am, dude.
But that is the dream.
Yeah. It's never going to happen, but like, it would be fucking amazing.
Here we go. Intel Xeon W3175X, 28 unlocked cores, $3,000. Are you getting one?
No,
Why not, dude? It's awesome.
it is awesome, but it's also $3,000. And for that $3,000, I could probably go get one of those new Epic chips that are coming out that'll be faster if I needed 28 cores.
No, there's no need to get this.
I mean, it's still pretty cool, but yeah, there's not a lot of needs for it.
No.
But
It's too expensive.
I mean, it is, but it depends on how far into
Unless
the
you have
power
a-
world you're going
Yeah.
for server level.
Yeah, unless you have a company that's willing to pay this price, I can't imagine anyone really needing this chip, because it's an insane chip.
It is, and but it's also like, okay, what world do you go to where then Epic exists now? Like, what would you wait for 7 nanometer Epic that's coming out soon that's already been shown to be faster than the Platinum series of Intel chips for server architecture? If you want 30 cores or whatever, it could compete with this while being around the same price.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have as many PCIe lanes as you want.
Right.
Which, if you need a computer this insane, it's because you're going to need PCIe lanes. You're not going to buy this and then just be like, yeah, dude, I'm sticking a 2 terabyte NVMe in it and that's it.
No, this is for a farm. Rendering farm or something where you're going to use all of them. Here's the little die configurations, Skylake SP die configurations. You can see kind of how it's put together.
It is really cool, though. The other thing, too, is last I know, and I don't think it's changed so far, there's also one motherboard for this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. There's one motherboard that's been made for it. If I remember right. Because that's what happened at CES is a bunch of people they got this motherboard and they were told they were going to actually get the CPU, so they're going to try to show it off in builds and stuff. And then when everyone got there, it was just computer builds with just this motherboard and everything else in it, and no CPU.
Oh my god.
Because Intel couldn't get them the CPUs.
Yeah, here's the motherboard. Oh my god. Look at all those slots. Look at all that RAM.
Yeah, like you're starting to get closer to a mini. It's a small server.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, I would love it, dude. Just like for you, just render a video on that, have a play day.
Yeah.
But like for me too, I mean, even outside of that, it's like, oh yeah, dude, I can just run that and I can have like 50 virtual machines running at once.
Yeah.
Like,
that's awesome. I mean, look at the computer with the one that they built with the water cooling on it. It's insane looking. Look at this monstrosity. It's all duct taped.
Yeah. No, I think also there's like so far too, because of this stupid one motherboard, it's also ginormous. So I think there's still only like 1 or 2 cases also that this motherboard can even fit in.
It's like just one big ass Be Quiet case.
Yeah, it's something like I think there's like the Anades, which is a Chinese manufacturer who supplies a lot of cases for other companies that get rebranded. So like Anades does
It looks like a Be Quiet case, doesn't it?
a little bit. More like Rosewill.
Mm.
Like Rosewill, it's a lot of case companies just go to like a couple of Chinese manufacturers like Anades for cases, and then they just change them a little bit. Yeah. Same thing with laptops. There's like 3 major laptop manufacturers that are like actually pretty much every laptop that isn't HP, Dell, or Microsoft or Apple.
Yeah, no, half of them use that one chassis. I forget the name of it. The CUK or something, the Cuck chassis.
The Computer King.
Yeah.
The Cup King. Yeah.
All right.
No, I mean, It's fucking cool. It's no one should buy it, but it's fucking cool.
Moving on. Apple was slow to act on FaceTime bug that allows spying on iPhones. So what happened is you would be able to FaceTime someone. I think it only worked in the group FaceTime.
It was in the groups, yeah.
And you would group FaceTime someone, and it would allow you to hear the other person's. It would allow you to hear through the other person's phone before they picked it up. So while it was ringing, you could hear whatever they were doing.
When you add someone to the group, yeah.
Yeah.
It would add that person who you're adding to the group. You could hear everything.
Which is not good.
No. It kind of, I mean, I was a little bit happier that it was the groups, because when this all started coming out, I was basically using FaceTime with my girlfriend. And
How much do you love FaceTime though? Do you use it a lot?
Enough.
I FaceTime.
I don't use groups though.
I've only used groups a couple times since it's new. I wanted to test it out with a few friends, but I love FaceTime. But yeah, definitely fix this bug. This is not good. I mean, how many times do you you call someone up, or you're like, oh, let's call up fucking Johnny or something, and then you're like, oh, fucking stupid ass Johnny bought this car the other day and it's just a piece of shit. You know what I mean? And you can hear that shit.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't want that to happen because of a software bug. But
yeah, or like any other type of sensitive information that could be going on, because
you know someone's doing something and then you FaceTime them. Phone. You FaceTime them because you know they're gonna be somewhere.
Dude, no,
you're like, oh, let's listen in. Thing.
Dude, I shit you not, haha. 80% of the time I get a fucking FaceTime, I'm fucking taking a dump. Like someone always FaceTimes me when I'm in the bathroom.
Do you answer it?
No, I wait till I get out of the bathroom.
You answer it when you just put the phone really close to your face so they can't see what you're doing.
Yeah, but no, so now it's just like, okay, now, dude, everyone
they hear it splashing.
FaceTime me. Yeah, just group FaceTime me for all the good sounds, I guess.
They hear you splashing in there. Yeah, definitely not good. But obviously with it being such a scandalous exploit, it was all over the news in like the matter of a minute. I saw it everywhere.
Well, I mean, think of it this way.
But not many people use group FaceTime. At least not that often.
Right, but like, if you don't have a choice, it just listens to you. That's kind of scary.
No, it definitely got to
fix
that.
Listening to you. Especially when our entire government uses iPhones.
Right.
Like, definitely, oh yeah, just you and your buddy just start having a recording app and let's call up Trump. Like
see what he's up to.
Yeah.
He's yelling about his
obviously
McDonald's
never gonna
order.
answer. He's never, I don't, obviously not him, but like you could definitely get sensitive information really easily.
And how many people don't hang up on other people? They hit the mute button, right?
Exactly.
They just mute it and they let it run. And they mute and like, oh, that fucking asshole's calling me again. Well, now you know. Now you know what he thinks of you. Yeah. So definitely fix that. At least it'll be fixed pretty quickly. Apple's pretty good at patching that stuff up shortly.
Yep. Yeah, they should.
Last piece of news.
Kind,
yeah,
like
definitely.
Your whole ad campaign is about privacy.
Right.
Like you'll get it done.
I wonder how they missed that. I wonder how it took so long to find it. Because group FaceTime's been out for fucking a month or so now. Someone was probably like, wait a second. Can I hear that person? Are they talking about me? Facebook pays teens to install VPN that spies on them. This isn't the same news. Is it? Is this the same thing? Yeah. So Apple removed Facebook's research app off of its app store. Desperate for data on its competitors, Facebook has been secretly paying people to install a Facebook research VPN that lets the company suck in all the users' phone and web activity, similar to Facebook's Anavo Protect app that Apple banned in June and that was removed in August. Facebook sidesteps the App Store and rewards teenagers and adults to download the research app and give it a root access to network traffic and what may be a violation of Apple policies so the social network can decrypt and analyze their phone activity, a TechCrunch investigation confirms. Facebook admitted to TechCrunch it was running the research program to gather data on usage habits. So they've been asking people to willingly download this app and to install and to allow root access to the phone so they can track everything that you're doing for advertising purposes. That's how they make their money. I don't care what else they say. It's for advertising purposes. Since 2016, Facebook has been paying users ages 13 to 35 up to $20 per month plus referral fees to sell their privacy by installing the iOS or Android Facebook Research app. That's it. That's how much these people were willing to give up their entire online privacy for. $20 a month. That data that you just gave them is worth literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. All of that data that those people gave them, each hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they were able to con them into doing it for $20 a month.
It's because you can't sell it.
Yeah. Not yet, at least. Not until someone figures out that app. That quick way to say, hey, how is that not a thing? How is that not a thing?
It's because
I guess because you can fudge it if you knew.
It's partially that, but it's like it's worth money. I don't know if it's worth $100,000s of dollars per person, and it's mostly because it's big data. You need big for it to be worthwhile. Like no one cares about what an individual person's doing. I care about what 100,000 people are doing. Because I can actually get something out of that data. I'm not going to really get, should I advertise something to you, because I can track how often you're using the phone when you go to take a shit.
But if you created an app and you said, I would pay you $100 a week for you to give me all of your access, I can see everything that you're doing except for passwords or whatever. That's a lot of data, and I'm sure so many people would do that. So many people would, because there's so many people who need that $100 a week, and they're always on their phone. They don't care about privacy and anything, and that's hundreds of thousands of dollars worth, millions of dollars worth of data that they've gotten for such a cheap price.
It would be kind of difficult to do, but you could do it, because then you'd also I don't think there'd be a way for you to just like get all the data, if that makes sense, because you'd be competing with everyone else. So like what I mean by that is, cool, you'd be able to do it easily to be able to see that, cool, this person went to Google, but you want to be able to see what they're doing on Google. You'd have to go to Google for that. Or like you could probably see what they're doing on Google, but you wouldn't own the rights to that because now that's Google's rights.
Interesting.
Google, like stuff like that.
Interesting.
Because everyone has rights to their own shit now too if you use their stuff. So it would also be a lot of weird legal battles.
Right.
Again, going back to who owns the data. Because
I guess if you're Facebook, then it's easy to do because they own a lot, and they can track Facebook.
Or the other people are doing it, Google.
Right. Yeah.
You can. And
then I guess they don't even have to charge because you're just doing it for free anyway. Some people just give their privacy up for free anyway, even just because they don't want to take the 2 seconds to read that thing that says turn this off. They're just clicking on it.
But
so
I mean, this
is root access to the phone.
That's the crazy part to me, though. Is like, you get complete root access to it. That's kind of insane.
Yeah, that's nuts. The program is administered through beta testing services Applause, Betabound, and U-Test to cloak Facebook's involvement, and is referred to in some documentation as Project Atlas, a fitting name for Facebook's effort to map new trends and rivals around the globe. 7 hours after the story was published, Facebook told TechCrunch it would shut down the iOS version of its research app in the wake of our report. But on Wednesday morning, an Apple spokesperson confirmed that Facebook violated its policies and it had blocked Facebook's research app on Tuesday before the social network seemingly pulled it voluntarily. So that's interesting as well. An Apple spokesperson provided this statement. We designed our enterprise developer program solely for the internal distribution of apps within an organization. Facebook has been using their membership to distribute a data collecting app to consumers, which is a clear breach of their agreement with Apple. Any developer using their enterprise certificates to distribute apps to consumers will have their certificates revoked, which is what we did in this case to protect our users and their data. So good on Apple for at least making the statement saying like, look, we know that you're probably going to take it down anyway, but we wanted to make it known, like, you can't be doing this. We'll take your certificates, go do it somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that's absolute that's just fucking crazy that people would root it to me.
Yeah, it's
That's
all
full
network
access.
yeah, all network activity.
No, though, if you give them full, was it root access just the network? But if you're giving
Full
them root access,
root access to the network traffic. So pretty
but
much
if
anything that's coming through that signal.
right, but it's weird because like if you get root access to that, you can probably get root access to everything else.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they were getting text messages.
No, I'm like you can get everything to the phone. Everything.
Yeah, it was anything coming in and out of that phone. They had.
No, I mean like you could get even more than that probably. Like you would have just had that phone. Like you could see like their notes. You could see anything.
Yeah, it's
You
crazy.
could have a note on your phone saying
How
I'm
many
gonna
apps
go
are
to
pinging
Mark
to it?
Zuckerberg.
How many apps are pinging to the server, in the background? You know.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's where all of this actually is way more interesting to me, but also scary, but also why we have to figure out data instead of just crusading that it's all bad.
Yeah, you need to figure out a way to clearly define how the data is being processed, what data is being taken, and at least give people the choice if they want to allow it or not. Because
Yeah.
something like Evernote, where I want it to constantly be synced up, you know what I mean? I want it to constantly be online and syncing up with my notes and all across all my devices. I'll give that access to sync up. And maybe if it wants to track whatever links I put in there, in order for it to better serve me, whatever, then I might be okay with that. But you have to clearly define what it is and how you're making money off of it.
Yeah. Well, it's yeah. I mean, it's that, but it even goes like deeper. Like, go get a VPN and tell it to block Amazon, Google. Don't even block Facebook yet. Just block Amazon and Google, and try to use anything.
Yeah.
No, anything. You won't even be able to get an Uber to leave
Yeah.
because it's Google Maps. Like, like it's that's why it's one of those like it's to the point though at the same time where like we got to figure out how to ethically do this and get everyone on board with kind of the same idea of ethically of how to do this, because we're past the point of just also being able to stop all data.
You can't stop
Yeah.
it. People don't want you to stop it. I don't want you to stop it. You can,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. Like, I don't mind certain privacy's being lost in terms for convenience. Like if you're gonna need to, track where I'm at because I'm using your maps, I'm using your GPS service, then that might be a thing that I'll be willing to sacrifice. But I am someone who is an upstanding citizen. I'm not trying to live off the grid. I'm not doing anything weird or shady. So I don't really mind that. There's certain scenarios where I really don't mind my privacy's kind of being taken and sold. But there are situations like who I'm
against your
texting.
consent.
Yeah, when it's against my consent or it involves other people around me,
Right, and their consent.
and that's where
Exactly.
Facebook is so tricky because they deal with it on the social side,
Yeah.
where Google
like-
is mostly concerned about exactly what you are doing and your habits are. Facebook is like, what are you doing, and your friend and your mom's friends and her friends, and it just grows and grows and grows, and they're tracking all of it. And that's for me is a little bit more worrying than Google just saying, okay, what websites do you like to visit? Where are you going most of the days? It looks like you take a cab to Micro Center every 2 weeks. We'll serve you better. Laptop ads or whatever. And I might be okay with that if you let me know. Now, someone like us will know because we're nerds and we know that stuff.
It's doing a better job of all of that, but also figuring out where that ethical line is and what is acceptable with that.
What do you think isn't
everyone.
acceptable?
Paying people $20 to give them root access to the phone. That's pretty unacceptable.
Hey, but at least they are consenting to it.
True. That's the weirdest part about both of these, because Google just had theirs hold, which didn't root access or anything, but it was Google's apparently had a screen tracking program that would report back. So the idea was, hey, we'll tell you what you're doing with your phone, so you know, like before all of these other, now the both operating systems do that for you naturally, but they would track it back and get that data.
Here's an update from Engadget that Google provided. The ScreenWise Meter iOS app should not have operated under Apple's Developer Enterprise program. This was a mistake and we apologize. We have disabled this app on iOS devices. This app is completely voluntary and always been. We've been upfront with users about the way we use their data in this app. We have no access to encrypted data in apps and on devices, and users can opt out of the program anytime. Blah, blah, blah. But
Well, yeah, what I was that
but
kind
it
of
still
says
goes.
my point.
Yeah, it still goes to show like
It's-
people are willing to just say, "Hey, this is what
Exactly.
this is me."
No, these were both complete. That was my point. Is these are both completely opt-in
Yeah,
app. Like you 100% are down choosing to download this, accept the terms of service and everything, and then be like, yeah, okay.
yeah.
So like that's fascinating, but it's one of those things where like I see that's why this whole argument's so always so difficult to me, because it's easy to see both sides.
Right.
It's easy to see the Google side, you know, of like, well, you fuckers signed up for it. I
Right.
didn't hide it. And then like it's also at the same time it's easy to see Senator Bob Majaw, technological expert at the age of 73, being pissed off about it.
Yeah. And I remember when data being collected was like, it started to become a new thing, and we were all kind of on board with like, all right, you're gonna surface better ads, you're gonna allow us to get better suggestions for things, and we were all kind of on board, and it just quickly spun out of control, and it was mainly Facebook's fault. It was mainly Facebook and how they treated advertising, who really pushed this forward, and then Google just by sheer volume, how big Google is, and being able to collect everything, kind of scared people. But it's because of Facebook that data and privacy are now like a fight, you know, and I have to fight for it, because it's one
yeah,
thing when it's
Google-
you, it's
Google-
another thing when it's others around you. Like, I don't want them to know what my wife is doing if she doesn't opt for it, but for some reason they have that data because I'm friends with her on Facebook or something, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and you don't even have to be friends with them.
Right. I just need to be
that's even
somewhere in the vicinity of her.
Yeah, like that's even the weird, scariest part is like all of those weird shadow profiles and stuff where it's like,
Right.
oh yeah, even if you've never been on Facebook, one of your friends can post a picture with your face in it,
Right.
and they'll be able to know that's you.
Yeah.
Like that's
And what you like, and other people that you know, and their interests. So you probably have the same interests.
Yeah, even though you're not on Facebook and have never had a Facebook account, they
It's
can still
crazy.
pinpoint that.
Yeah, that's a line that I don't like either. That's an ethical line that I would draw in the sand. If you're not on the app, no data. No data being collected. If you're not on the app, no data being collected. That should be rule number one.
Yep, it's that too, but it's also the way a lot of those other things work of you know, how do we ethically handle AdSense and Facebook likes?
Mhm.
Because that's how they also get a lot of data. Like, should you installing AdSense and having a JavaScript tracker so you know how many visits your site had, that's all that should do. That shouldn't send that data then back to Google because they have AdSense.
Right.
And the same thing with like, you know, the like button shouldn't, if someone hits like, it should just ping back to Facebook that someone liked this, but not necessarily like, oh yeah, this person was on this website for this amount of time doing this and this and this.
Right.
Like there's
It's gonna get worse, man.
Yeah,
Because
like,
what's
it's the
gonna
ways-
happen?
it's the ways those also branch outside of the app into the rest of the internet world.
And not even just that, but like what's gonna happen is we're gonna start to get, you know, senators and bills being pushed that will utilize this data collection in ways that will definitely violate privacy, such as maybe Easy Pass has a data tracker on their thing, and they can tell that you've been speeding too much. So all of a sudden now they're preemptively, you know, monitoring your speed limits. It can stop you at any time. And it just, as tech gets more ingrained into everyday life, like just in like simple things that we do, it's just going to get more and more difficult to try to find those ethical lines and try to figure out ways to make sure that we do it the right way. Because we do want data being collected. It does make our lives a lot better. I don't know, a lot better, but it makes them a little bit easier. And
Yeah.
I don't mind some of it being taken
No,
and sold.
I think that's a
And some people
it's
just
a big
give their shit
conversation.
away. Some people
Yeah.
do not care. It's crazy. 20
They
bucks a
don't.
month for root access to their
Your
network traffic. That's nothing. I'll give
I
you 20
mean-
bucks to stop.
I would do it if I had an extra phone.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, dude, I'll take it and just leave it
turn-
on an extra phone that's never on. Sure, dude.
Just throw it in the woods and leave it on.
They're like, yeah, thanks for the $20, dude.
They're gonna be like, he doesn't move. This guy just doesn't move. What the hell?
Just like, or no, if you go on like, you got your morning walk, you just like leave it somewhere and you just pick it up on your morning walk and set it down somewhere else on your morning walk. It just travels between point A and B out in
Yeah.
like the woods of who knows where.
All right. I think that's it, right? Think that's it for news. Anything else that we missed?
Probably, but I'm good. Oh, iOS 13 will importantly include dark mode. Yay. And a new iPad home screen.
Oh, really?
That's it. Yeah.
A new iPad home screen, not a new iPhone home screen?
New iPad.
I'm okay with that, but I would like just give me a whole new iOS look. Give me
Yeah, I'd
widgets.
like something I could customize. Yeah.
Yeah, I want widgets
But-
on my home screen. I
but
like
if
the
there's-
home screen widget slide, but I do want them on. Like, I want my notes widget right on. Like, right when I flip it open, I want to see my notes. That would be awesome.
I want
Don't make me go through the extra step of swiping right.
that and just like let me hide things. I
Yeah,
hate that.
or
I hate that
or like
so
move. Yeah, put them anywhere you
I have
want.
like 10 folders of just utility apps that I use and have to use that it's like cool now like I have a whole screen that's just the most hideous thing in the world because like,
Everyone has that. The fourth screen, the fourth fourth home screen. It's just a mess.
I'm interested to see what they're going to do with the iPad because I think there's more to do with the iPad just because you have the new Pros, all that, where we've talked about there's so much more this could be. I'm interested to see if they go towards something that could be more, but I think the home screen is a good start
Yeah.
because that's always felt weird to me that my iPad home screen,
Looks like a phone.
it looks like a phone, but I think it even has less space than my phone.
No, it
Like
has.
I can have like less buttons on my home screen. I think it feels like than my iPhone. I know it's the same, but it feels like that.
No, you can have more. I think now, with
I
iOS
don't know.
11 or 12, whatever one we're on now.
It's just because how big.
But it's not
everything has to
much.
be. Yeah,
It's
like
not
just
much.
because of how big everything is, it's just like it just feels like there's so much wasted space.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I want to see what iOS 13 brings.
Especially-
Supposedly, this is the
yeah.
big one.
Especially with like the way they do like on the iPad you can do split screen and things like that.
Yeah,
Like make home screen work with that too. That
Yeah.
would be cool.
that'd be awesome. All right, that's it. And catch you guys next week. Make sure you follow us over at NoLife Digital on Instagram and Twitter. I think I might shut down the Instagram. I think I might just use the Twitter because
Yeah,
it's
let's
a
just
lot
use
easier
Twitter.
to use.
I'll use
Instagram.
Twitter sometimes. I'm probably never going to use the Instagram.
Yeah, the Twitter's just so much easier to post to. Because Instagram, I want to make a post and then I gotta fucking make sure it's the right size. And Twitter, you could just
You got to make sure it
retweet.
looks good. You got to make sure you look good.
I might just keep it up and maybe occasionally post on it, but
Keep
just
it
follow
up
us on
and-
Twitter.
All right, keep it up, and I'll start making Instagram TV videos for it.
There you go.
Just me raging at Linux.
That'd be awesome, actually, if you upload videos on IGTV of you raging at Linux. I would advertise that. And then follow us on our website, NoLife Digital. NoLife.digital. Everything is up over there. You can get everything over there. All right. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.